Ever wondered how massive airplanes are crafted to soar through the skies? Imagine a 9-day whirlwind where meticulous engineering meets advanced technology, from designing and simulating every detail on computers to assembling the wings with laser precision, and finally rigorous testing, all leading to a marvel of modern aviation ready to take flight. Dive into the intricate process behind the scenes of airplane construction. An airplane is a powered aircraft that uses an engine's thrust to move forward in the air. That much is clear to all of us. But how did we get here? How are aircraft constructed? Are planes built in large quantities? Is it possible for the firm to build hundreds of airplanes and small gadgets simultaneously? Or does it make each airplane like a handcrafted antique, one at a time? Or is there a combination of both claims in the truth? To build something this massive and capable of flight, many design and manufacturing phases are required. Together, let's examine those phases to discover the manufacturing process of airplanes. During the design and planning phase, the goals and requirements for the aircraft are determined. Equations and pictures are used in the initial step. During this phase, businesses plan and sketch the design using computers. The production process for aeroplanes. Number 1. Design. Oxford Saudi claims that from the time of the first concept to the beginning of the aircraft construction, the design and planning phase can take up to 4 full years. First, engineers create calculations and designs, which are subsequently entered into equations. Traditionally, engineers would have taken care of everything themselves, but these days, flight teams utilize specialized computers to plan, sketch, and model the design phase. Number 2. Simulation. After these preliminary sketches, the simulation stage begins. At this point, the team uses those previously mentioned equations and their computations to mimic an aircraft's performance using computers once more. To begin gaining a feel for the aircraft, wind tunnels are frequently utilized in conjunction with small replicas of it. Number 3. Construction. And then there's construction. All of the above mentioned components are designed and created at this time. These parts will have been either completely hand-drawn or chosen from pre-existing models for compatibility throughout the design phase. A point to consider during the construction phase is that several different companies usually provide components for it. Even major corporations like Boeing frequently purchase parts from other businesses that specialize in producing a particular kind of aircraft component. Number 4. Assembling. The preferred metal for constructing airplanes is aluminum because of its lightweight qualities. That being said, this is a lot more robust version of aluminum than the lightweight stuff you buy at the supermarket. Building an airplane is a difficult process that involves several steps, from the initial stages of conception and design to the final stages of fitting the final components and testing everything out. This is especially true for fleet aircraft. Although there is little room for error, the individuals who make airplanes are highly skilled specialists. Consider the enormous amount of labor that goes into creating these contemporary marvels the next time you take a flight. Let's start our examination of the aircraft manufacturing process by closely examining the 9-day procedure Boeing uses to produce the 737 MAX. It provides not just with a useful overview of the steps involved in each process and how everything works together as a whole, but it also offers valuable insight into the workings of one of the world's leading aircraft manufacturers. Day 1 to Day 3. An excellent summary of this technique is given by Wired UK, which also busts several common misconceptions about how airplanes are made, such as the idea that they always look like planes with wings and all. It's not the case. Usually, the first 3 days of an airplane's construction are devoted to assembling the fuselage. Boeing uses passenger cabins and fuselages that are manufactured in its Wichita assembly plant and delivered to Seattle. This highlights another important aspect of the manufacturing of airplanes, which is that it's a mostly fragmented process. An airplane, like the Boeing 737, is constructed from separate parts that are then assembled in different locations. Additionally, not many of the flight-centric characteristics that come to mind when you imagine an airplane are addressed in these first 3 days. No discussion of engines, navigation, or ways to create and maintain lift, turning, or landing capabilities takes place in the first 3 days. Rather, they are used to install the cabins and the fuselage's basic plumbing, electrical, and window systems. Insulation is installed at this point as well. Maintaining stable and safe internal conditions on board requires this to be done at all times. Day 4. When the wings and tail fin are built on day 4, things finally begin to resemble a plane. Day 4 is also when the landing gear is installed, in addition to the wings and tail fin. Once more, it must be fastened as precisely as possible. Day 5. To help guarantee that the aircraft can keep its balance while in the air, the horizontal stabilizer is attached by day 5. Additionally, testing everything out is the beginning of one of the longest and most crucial stages of the plane building process. Let us take a moment to consider that final issue. No tests are performed on the plane's functionality until day 5 of a 9-day cycle. That implies that not only can a whole plane be constructed in less than 2 weeks, but in only 4 to 5 days, the operational tests necessary to maintain this contemporary marvel in the air are carried out. That's rather incredible. The majority of the aircraft's mechanical, electrical, and wiring systems up until this point have been focused on components like the onboard plumbing and lighting. This is the addition and testing of the onboard flight control circuitry. Day 6. Another significant turning point occurs on day 6, when the airplane receives electricity and begins to operate. At this point, the really important tests begin, such as ensuring the landing gear and onboard computers operate as intended. Day 7. On the 7th day, the plane's wheels and landing gear touch the ground, causing it to stop being supported by a system of supports and begin to support itself. The engines are connected at this point as well. They need a scaled down version of all that has been covered thus far. They too have their shells and physical parts constructed, and later on, engineering materials and electricity are added. They have gone a long way by the time they are properly joined to the aircraft, just like the aircraft itself. Further testing is required whenever the two start to interact. It is crucial to make sure that the engine's wiring, tubes, cables, and other parts are all correctly connected, operating, and connected to the right systems on the aircraft. Day 8. By day 8, the aircraft is essentially completed and the last tests start. This includes evaluating the flight deck and the cockpit, two of the aircraft's most crucial parts. Modern flight computers are sophisticated systems that need to be thoroughly tested to make sure they are operating correctly and are in optimal condition. This latter is especially complex. As mentioned, testing takes place all along the way, but particularly starting on day 5. It's time to start testing various components together by day 8. Testing ensures that everything fits together flawlessly, just like a stage rehearsal does before the play opens. Day 9. The plane's waiting list ends on day 9. At this stage, the firm making the purchase inspects and tests the aircraft, and if they are satisfied with its build quality, they add it to their fleet straight from the factory. Incredibly, crews assembling planes can complete the lengthy process in 9 days. Building an airplane is a complex and fascinating journey from concept to completion. Each step, from initial design and simulation to the final assembly and rigorous testing, involves precision, skill, and teamwork. The 9-day process, as exemplified by Boeing's production of the 737 MAX, showcases the incredible efficiency and expertise required to create these modern marvels of aviation. If you enjoyed learning about how airplanes are built, make sure to subscribe for more insights into the fascinating world of engineering and technology.